Hello, hello. It's day 5. How are y'all doing? So excited to be here. It's day 5 of our 30 days to happiness. And oh my goodness, the difference I feel, the things that have just removed themselves already during these 5 days has been amazing. And I'm so glad to be a part of this journey with each and every one of you. I am getting so much feedback and I'm loving it. The purpose of this challenge was just to really just let people see that there's differences in life, that you could really do something very simple and impact your life completely, which is absolutely beautiful. So, as we begin today, I really want to talk to you about the beauty of just really the purpose of changing your perspective. And it's very easy to do that by just our words. And one of the things that I learned in one of my energetic classes about when you're really talking about manifesting is that you ask and you say it like, what will it take? What will it take for me to have my dream life? Like, what will it take for me to be able to travel to da 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 da? Like, ask, like, what will it take for this to happen for me? And it's just absolutely beautiful to observe because then when you start to ask, things start to present itself to you. So today, like I said, we're really working on the perception and when it comes to how we feel and the words that we use and how that truly impacts our life and how it can really just change everything, like how it truly impacts our unconscious mind. And the effects are just absolutely astonishing just by changing your perception of everyday stuff. Like one of the things that there's 4 that I like to work on a lot myself. And so I put it to like have to versus get to. So, what areas in your life do you really just sit there and say, I have to? For example, I have to go to work. So, if we change that I get to go to work, you see how positive that is, like how that shifts because there's a lot of people that don't have a job that they can go to, or there's people that can't go to work for whatever reason. So, not that you have to take into account about other people, but it's your way of just showing gratitude. Like, I get to go to work today, whether that's working for yourself, that's working for someone else. But most importantly, you're alive and you're able to do that. So start thinking about that. Like, try to use that as examples as to what that looks like, have to versus get to. The next one is I can't to how can I. So one of the biggest things that I tell a lot of my clients, especially in the manifestation and abundance, when we use the word I can't is negative and that's negative energy. So that kind of blocks it. So when you say I can't afford it, your mind thinks, oh, we have no money. So guess what? You're not going to get is money. So don't say, I can't afford something, cancel, clear, delete. And the reason you don't want to use that word is because, like I said, our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference of when we're saying things out loud and the actual truth. So it hears what you say and what you think, and that's what it believes, and that's what happens. So when you think about that and you really want to step into your true authentic self and really start to feel joy, change that. Like, change the terminology that allows your brain to just stop shutting off possibilities, because that's basically what you're doing. Is when you say I can't, that's your brain shutting off saying, well, we can't do this, so let's not do it. It's that simple, so instead look at things that you desire by saying, how can I make $10,000 a month? Or how can I work from home? Or how can I start my business? How can I be happy? How can I experience joy? How can I be healthy? How can I, move forward and travel and do the things that you want to do? Just change that terminology. The other one is how many times have you said, well, what's the worst that could happen, right? Why are we basing our decision on what's the worst thing that could happen? What if we turn that into what's the best that could happen? That's simple. Like, if you're fearful to let something go or not want to do it, then why, ask that? The resistance is real. Like, when we know we need to be doing something, but we don't do it because we fear the worst thing that could happen, well, then that's the worst thing that's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, because that's what you're asking to exist. That's what you're asking for. And I don't think a lot of people realize this, but you can manifest bad things. Like, when you say, what's the worst that can happen, then possibly the worst thing that can happen could happen. But if you change it to, what's the best that could happen? What's the best that could happen if I decided to choose me? What's the best that could happen if I decide to start a business? What's the best that could happen if I start a new relationship? What's the best that could happen if I end a relationship? Think about it. And the last one I want to talk about is our favorites. What if? What if? What if you chose to say things positive versus saying it negative? Just curious, what do you think that would look like? Like, what if your relationship improves? What if you can reconcile your marriage? What if I get a promotion? What if I start making this amount of money a month? What if I get to travel? Whatever it is that you want, why not ask for it and focus on the positive versus the negative? Because if you're focusing on the negative, then the negative can continue to happen. And why would you want that? Why? So it took me a long time to recognize that. And I think part of it really, really triggered in me when I really started digging deep into my PhD system program and really starting to understand how our mind works. And in addition to what happens in our mind, how it triggers our emotions in our everyday life, and realizing how we often think we don't have control of our mind, but we truly, truly do. And how we feel like we have no control over our life, we really do. And that was a harsh realization to realize, like, hey, the things that you think and the things that come out your mind, that's what you're living. You're living in that because that's what you think. If you change your mind and change your thoughts and change your actions, it it all is so much better. But we fear it because that's not what we know, and that's scary. But once you start doing it, which is part of this 30-day challenge, is just doing one thing that is fun, then you're going to start to open up and like, okay, But okay, I did this for a month and this was fun and this made an impact in my life. And as I'm listening to the things that I'm teaching and I try it, wow, she was right. And then you're going to want to start digging into the things that are holding you back. You start to identify it, but you're not quite sure how deep it impacts. And that's when people work with me one on one in deep sessions or group programs that are really in depth. So you get to break that cycle and have fun. And because right now you truly believe like that's a dream life and dreams don't always come true. But if it's your dream life and you want it to come true, it could happen. The only thing standing in the way is you. So when you are ready to get out of your own way, call me. I got you. Anyway, see all of you guys tomorrow for day 6. And tomorrow is one of my favorite subjects, the ego. Gotta love the ego. I'm going to teach you how to learn to appreciate your ego and how to embrace it. See you guys tomorrow.